Hello once again, or if you are new with us, welcome to the Canting Club. This week we have an Austrian white for you, made from that country's signature grape variety, Grüner Veltliner, or Gru V for short. This one comes from a family-owned Weingut Rabl, who are based around the famous wine town of Langenlois in the Kamptal region, northeastern Austria. Grüner means green, and you can see that in the colour of the wine. It's this lovely lemony colour, distinct shots of green in here. It's not perhaps as deep as I was expecting from a wine that I know has seen skin contact, but then this is quite a pale grape. Lots and lots of greenery on the nose as well. It leads off with green Granny Smith apple, supported by limey citrus. But then there are all these fascinating vegetable notes that this grape is actually famous for. Things like celery and cucumber and green peppers. It's also decidedly herby with an aniseedy scent like tarragon or perhaps lovage. Oh, it's a fascinating nose and really typical of this grape variety, though it does smell rather riper than most of them. Oh, that's zingy. Now it's dry, but not too dry. And it's got that juicy, mouth-watering acidity, very typical of this grape. But that's amply balanced by the weight of green apple and green Gallia melon fruit. Again, like the nose, there's a vegetable edge to that fruit, a sort of celery cucumber thing. In fact, it's much more, I think, like lovage, which is a herb that you can hardly find in the shop, so most people don't know what it tastes like. But I love it. It's been described as kind of a combination of celery and parsley, only more intense and more savoury, and that's what we have here. But there's also a really intriguing mouthfeel going on. This is medium-bodied, but it's backloaded. It really builds in weight and intensity in the mouth. And if you do hold it in your mouth for a while, the after palate has this spicy pepperiness. It's almost a sizzle. It's a bit like eating watercress. The Austrians have a word for this. They call it Pfeffer, and it's regarded as the calling card of this grape variety. Go on, hold it in your mouth for a while and you'll see what I mean. And there it is. And that spicy, peppery quality is even more apparent on the mouth-watering, slightly warming finish. There's a mineral quality to the finish as well, as if those watercress leaves had been dipped into celery salt. And it really lasts. It's going on and on. I can still taste it. Terrific length to the finish here. I love Grüner Veltliner. It's one of my favourite varieties, so I'm so pleased to be able to share this one with you. Actually, this is probably better than the ones I normally drink here at home. It's a really superb example. It's rather riper and more full-bodied than the ones I'm used to, but it still displays the classic characteristics of this grape. I've tried buying more heavyweight examples in the past, but they've been just a bit too intense and I've gone back to the lighter ones at around 11.5% and 12%. This is 12.5%. I think those expensive ones were just too young. This is a grape that is known to age extremely well. But this one doesn't need aging. Winemaker Weingut Rabl has cleverly managed to get some of that body and intensity in this while still keeping the crisp acidity and the fresh fruit flavours that I'm used to. It's absolutely approachable today. In fact, it was so delicious, even when I just first opened the bottle, that I found myself drinking it for pleasure instead of tasting it properly so I could write notes on it. It took a lot of willpower to have enough left to film with. Groovy, baby, groovy. Cheers.